All right, so those were our top Mario games. I think we had very similar lists. The most shocker was Mario Teaches Typing.
Did you Google it while I was?
No, I did not. I did not Google it. I'm going to save
wasted opportunity.
I'm going to save that for when I'm laying in bed tonight, needing to fall
asleep. It's worth a check.
A video.
I'm telling you.
All right. Yeah. Shout out though to Mario Paint that I threw that one out there. I don't know if anybody remembers that that gem.
When you threw that out, I did then think, did I want to have that in there? But no, it's a little
different. Yeah. All right. So video game movies. Right, so movies directly based on video games. So I'm going to do my top 5. All right, number 5 I had Uncharted. Okay, it's a newer movie. A lot of these are newer. I'm not going to lie because there's been a lot of shit video game movies.
We went opposite with that. Mine's a lot of
good
nostalgia, but honestly, I feel like some of them are actually really good movies. So.
All right, well we'll talk about. I'll shit on your. Good movies. Uncharted. So Tom Holland did a pretty good job. I have a hard time seeing him as anything other than Spider-Man. Like, when I think of Tom Holland, I think of two things. I think of Spider-Man, and I think of him singing Rihanna's Umbrella and in like lingerie. So that's all I see.
They should have done, is it Nathan Fillion? Dave Fillion? Who's the guy that looks exactly like Nathan Drake? They did a fan...
Oh, that's Nathan Fillion, yeah.
Yes, they did.
Firefly.
He did. Yeah. Yes, he did a YouTube fan film of him playing as Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it's great, right?
It's awesome. It's what this movie should have been.
Yeah. So I like Uncharted. It's fun. He does a good job. Mark Wahlberg's he's good in the it's okay. I enjoy it. It's a good movie. Yeah. It's watchable. I could watch it multiple times. It's fun.
It's the rundown. For me, it's like,
okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I enjoy this movie. Probably not
number 4. I have 2 movies at number 4 as a tie, and you'll understand why when I say. Okay, so Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat. The newer Mortal Kombat, the COVID Mortal Kombat, is an awesome. It's an awesome movie, right? It's badass. Like the gore is what it needs to be. It's it like leads into the sequel great too, right? Because we don't really have the tournament, like we're leading into that. It's cool. And then the original Mortal Kombat movie, listen, that like when it came out I was in the peak of like Mortal Kombat was my jam, right? Like I have a Mortal Kombat or arcade 1-up in my basement because that's my game, right? Like that's a great movie. It's a great movie. So I put those as a tie. I think they're equally good. Like I as much as I love the remake, I love the original. Like so that's great. Number 3.
You talking about the new Mortal Kombat, it makes me like think like, oh, I guess I could have. I did not have that in my top list. There was things that I didn't like about that movie enough.
Neither one's perfect, right? Like they left stuff out that they should have had in, but I think they did a lot of things right, and I think it did well enough that like we're going to get a sequel. Like it sounds like it's going to happen, right? Number 3, I had Tomb Raider, and that's the 2018 Tomb Raider, the Alicia Vikander, not the Angelina Jolie. Like no.
The new one that it was a take on the new version of the video game,
but it's a Tomb Raider. Like it's a Tomb Raider movie. It's a good movie. They did a good job. Like I wish it would have done better at the box office. I would love to see another Tomb Raider movie, but sadly I don't think it did well enough. We're not going to get that.
The actress looks
Alicia Vikander,
identical to the video game one that they did. I don't know if you've played the newer video games.
I don't think I've played the newest one, but I mean, back in the day. But
that remake was so good that my wife watched the entire game of that for me playing from start to finish.
That's awesome.
If you like the Uncharted games, the newer Tomb Raider games are that good.
Good. Number 2, I have Sonic the Hedgehog. Like at number 2, like. Sonic the Hedgehog. So the first thing I want to say about Sonic the Hedgehog is like when that original character design, you referenced this earlier, when that original character design came out, it was shit on by everyone. It was terrible. and they took the time to delay the movie and fix it. And then, like, it's a funny movie. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, though he really kind of doesn't look anything like him. Jim Carrey,
but I love his
Jim Carrey's so over the top that he's fantastic, right? Like, it's a fun movie. I enjoy it. Like, we know we're going to get a third one. They've teased right into it. Ben Schwartz's Sonic is fantastic. His voice acting, though, like, is great. Like, he in the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he's Leonardo. Like, he's in DuckTales, like the newer DuckTales. I mean, as much as I want to hear Sonic do a John Ralphio from Parks and Rec, like, Ben Schwartz is awesome, Sonic. And then I'm gonna do it. Super Mario Brothers is number one. That movie.
Number one?
Yeah, put it at number one. Like, that's. Listen.
What?
Listen. No, this isn't the this isn't 1993 Super Mario Brothers, the new one.
Oh, I know.
Here's the deal.
Really?
Yeah, because like Mario's the most recognizable and biggest video game character there is. Okay, and they made a movie and they made it right, and it looks great. The voice acting's great. The music's great. Like, I gave it 8 out of 10 stars when we talked about it. Here's the deal. Like, there's so many bad video game movies.
So many.
Yeah. There's so many bad video game movies.
Prince of Persia.
It's not good. Yeah, they're not good, right? So there's so many bad ones that I put it at number one. Now, I told you I was going to have a guilty pleasure here because there's a video game movie that sucks that I enjoy and I shouldn't, and it's Doom.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Rock Doom.
You know, he's no. Carl Urban Doom.
Yeah, isn't The Rock in that? Carl Urban? Yeah, they're both
The Rock. Yes, The Rock's the bad guy. That's Carl Urban's movie. You and I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Carl Urban is like the patron saint of nerddom. Okay,
yeah, he's like he kept the helmet on the whole time during.
He's Dredd. He got wasted as a Marvel character. Like, let's talk about how good he is in The Boys.
Oh my God, what a horrible, like, he deserves so much better.
I know. Like, Bones
in
Star Trek.
Be a joke. Everything's got to be a joke in Marvel movies.
But Bones in Star Trek, like, Lord of the Rings,
awesome.
Carl Urban's the man. I don't give a shit.
Riders
that movie, that first-person shooter scene in Doom
was
fucking awesome.
Why wouldn't you just have that in your top 5?
Because it's not a top 5 movie. It's not. It's not good enough.
You missed some movies, Doug.
All right, go. What you got?
You missed some. Okay, so my 5. I actually did have Super Mario. The new Super Mario movie is in my top 5 of video game movies of all time. Like you said, it stuck to it's like sometimes I get so upset with studios when they try to make a franchise of a property that's already good. Like Sonic as an example. Like, why do you have to try to make this your own thing and make this weird looking scary monster Sonic? Just make him look like the one we all like. We'll give you our money. Yep. And they did, and we did. And so it's the same. I like that
Is that your number 5 then?
That's my number 5. Okay. Super Mario movie is my number 5. Number 4, we talked about this. You have not seen this movie, but for me, I fucking loved it as a kid. Street Fighter.
I've never seen it.
Loved it.
You're right. Never seen it.
It is a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Maybe I'm a sucker for a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, but Cyborg was a great movie. Time Cop was a great movie. Bloodsport, Street Fighter. Like, these are all. Do you even know what Cyborg is, by the way?
Yeah.
Do you know what movie came out?
No. Are like Universal Soldier?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme is in Universal Soldier.
He is the Universal Soldier.
They're one of the most badass. I think it's actually on HBO. It's called Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a post-apocalyptic world. He is a cybernetic human, but you don't know that. But he's like a wanderer, and he's trying to basically it's the Mandalorian. He's trying to deliver this person to another post-apocalyptic city, but has the fucking coolest bad guy in any movie ever. He is a badass. Just Google Cyborg,
doing it.
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
right now.
bad guy.
All right,
bad
Street
guy
Fighter.
is Roxy's glasses. Great movie. Anyway, Street Fighter was great. I liked that they had a lot of characters in that from the actual video game.
I'm going to make a point to see that.
It is a great... You will love it. Have you ever played Street Fighter? I mean, you have it in your house. So when you watch that movie, you'll have like a mini pop when you see.
Now I did say though, like I was a Mortal Kombat. Like when I grew up, I was a Mortal Kombat kid, and I don't. And like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and debate that Mortal Kombat's a better game than Street Fighter. I think I know it's not, right? Like when it comes to fighting games. Mortal Kombat, it was like I loved ripping people's spines out of their backs. Like I'm sick and twisted. That's my jam. Like, that's
I'm the same. I was a Mortal Kombat person. I didn't even play Street Fighter, but I knew all the characters and had played it. The movie was great. I fucking loved it. My number 3, which actually probably my top 3 could be interchangeable.
Okay.
This number 3 could be my number 1 because it's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Tron. I loved the new Tron movie.
Okay. All right.
Like, loved it. So the score in that, I still listen to that when I'm working. It's on my playlist. Great movie. The Dude Abides is actually awesome in it. You know a little bit more of my backstory. Obviously, our podcasters, they won't and may at some point. But, I've had some loss in my life as a son who's lost a father. And the whole movie, the premise is about, a chance to see your father again. And is it out there? And they do a really good job with that. There's a lot of emotion in that movie that I think is great. And it's a fucking awesome sequel, which I don't think they talk a lot about, but that actually is a sequel to the original. And we're talking about the newer one, not the original.
Is it Tron? Is it Legacy? Is that
Tron Legacy is what it's called, which they finally greenlit doing the sequel to that. So we've waited forever, but I love the main actor in it too.
Just pulling this up real quick, like you were talking about the Mario movie cover, the video store cover, Cyborg. I pulled up the Cyborg poster, like that's a blockbuster VHS. Like I know that. I've seen that box before.
There's a classic scene where Jean-Claude gets captured by the bad guy and beat in the middle of the movie. It's like his low point. And they literally crucify Jean-Claude Van Damme to a boat mass, giant mass in the middle of the desert in this post-apocalyptic world. There's just a boat and he gets fucking crucified and he kicks his way out of it. But it's this fucking awesome scene.
I got movies to see. I got Jean-Claude Van Damme movies to see. All right.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We're really hitting Jean-Claude. Number 2, Mortal Kombat 1. What a fucking awesome movie.
It's an awesome movie.
They're like, hey, Mortal Kombat's a really cool concept. These crazy fucking characters in a tournament for the whole, our realms are at, this is the fight, this is number 10 out of 10. If Outworld wins this tournament this time, the whole world goes away. Bring the savior Liu Kang in. I love the actor they had for Liu Kang.
Yes.
I fucking loved. Here's my problem with the new Mortal Kombat, which is why I loved the first Mortal Kombat. Sub-Zero, Scorpion were fucking badass in Mortal Kombat 1. They were exactly how they were supposed to be. I love that they basically made their characters in costume look exactly like it was.
They're like throwaways. That's like one of my biggest issues with that movie.
I wish that they would have kept those in and been more of key players. However,
like the new movie, they are the key players in the new movie. Like they're the main two characters.
See, if they would have taken the versions of them from Mortal Kombat 1 and made those two the main characters in the new one, I would have loved it. Scorpion is a good guy, or is like this redeeming. They make him like kind of like this good guy in there. Sub-Zero was like a black ninja. He wasn't a blue ninja. He didn't look like Sub-Zero the whole movie. And his character in that was, it didn't feel like those were the characters that kind of
you grew up with.
Like Super. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like that was just not Sub-Zero. That's not who. He's the leader of the Lin Kuei. There's the original is the bad guy. His little brother's the good guy.
Yeah,
Scorpion and him have this epic fight. I don't know. I also felt like they kind of did with Scorpion, like they did with the new Boba Fett show. Like I don't need to see the actor's face. I get that you got a really cool, good actor for this, but like this is Scorpion. Keep his fucking mask on. This is Sub-Zero. Keep his fucking mask on.
He's not in like 75% of the movie though. Like he's at the very beginning. They like tell this backstory, like why he's this revenge demon, right? Like, and then he shows up at the end to fuck Sub-Zero shit up and get his revenge, right?
I think for me, I don't like when properties try to make the characters look. I get that, like, we got to do something different and new.
Yeah.
But also, there's a little bit too, like, when we see a character look like they fucking did in the game, like, we fucking love it. Like, come on, give me that. So,
nice.
Anyways, Mortal Kombat 1, I love the tournament part that you mentioned that about. I think that's going to lead to the sequel for the newer ones. For me, if they do that tournament, then I'm all in. I'm like, this is fucking great. I want that. I love the tournament part of it. My number one video... oh, Jesus. My number one video game movie of all time that maybe is a guilty pleasure, but I confidently say this because I love this movie, and you should too as a horror fan. Silent Hill. My number one video game movie of all time.
Okay, so like I have seen Silent Hill like 2 times, and it was like right when it came out. I don't think I remember enough about it to confidently rank it in my top 5. I think that was my beef with it. Like I remember Resident Evil, the movie, way more. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it was because it was like they made 18 sequels that progressively got worse.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it well enough to confidently put it in my top 5. So the fact that I don't remember it, like it being that memorable to me, was like why I didn't rank it in my top 5.
That makes sense.
You know, and
I loved it. It's a really good scary movie. Like it's a good.
Oh, it is. Yeah, movie. I remember that part, but yeah.
Does a really cool take on a real world town where there's been an underground fire for like 60 years.
Yeah.
Like, and then it has some fucking super sweet twists at the end where you're like, it's like The Sixth Sense almost, where you're like, oh my fucking God, the whole time we had no idea.
I probably need to go back and watch that too. I mean, like, I'm just making a list of movies I need to see.
Honestly, though, that is a movie of mine. I wouldn't necessarily put that in like my top 10 of all time, but like it's the top scary movie of mine.
Oh, really? Okay. I think I own it. I just haven't watched it in a long time.
And the visual effects are really good. Like there's, did you ever play those games? I didn't.
Yeah. I think I played one. I think I played 1 and 2. But I don't remember if I played any beyond that.
There's
I don't know how many there are.
Faceless nurses that can't
I know
see you, and they're like dolls, so like they don't move. But like if you make a sound, I think if you make a sound, or if you're in the light or something, then they'll start moving towards you.
Gotcha.
So there's like a scene where she's got to get to this door, and it's like almost at the very end, and she has to go through a pitch black hallway of all these fucking dolls. Ugh. And so like you're like the whole time you're just like, oh my God, please don't make a sound, because if those things move again, I'm gonna vomit. Like
that's good.
And they did Triangle Head really good, or Pyramid Head.
Oh
really good.
Yeah. I respect it. Like we had some similarities, we had some differences, but I mean, like Mortal Kombat's the shit.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I agree.
And part of me thinks like, I put Mario at number 1. And you had Mario in your top 5, but I don't know if that was like, I think maybe I kind of saved a
recency bias.
Yes. Yeah. I went into it like this. I know this movie's going to make my list. You know?
That makes sense.
So, but yeah, it's good. So, that kind of wraps it up like for the show. So, episode 1 is in the books. Talk about kind of like what we started this podcast just to have fun and talk about stuff we like to talk about and share that and see if anybody else wants to hear what we have to say. I think that's how a lot of podcasts get started though, right? Like we're talking about stuff we like and maybe people want to hear what we have to say. And it's episode 1. I feel like it went well, smooth, I think. And we'll, edit it, put it out. We'll see what happens. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks. So
yeah. Well, I think there's a little bit of evolution as we go,
Absolutely.
Find what we like. Yeah. We're just two guys who are nerds, who are dads. I mean, you probably won't see because this has been edited, but I've had to leave 14 times to take a newborn baby up to
We've been recording for 12 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we're just two nerds who like to talk about nerd stuff and I think, for us we're having a lot of fun. I'm having fun.
This is good. Yeah, it's a good time. This is a good time. So I got to do the podcast shtick, hit subscribe, give us a like, we've got social media, Movie Dads Pod, check it out. And we'll keep going. We're going to have an official logo, a website, all that stuff's in the works. We just got to get it going. And hopefully this is something, we have the equipment now so we can, keep going at least, for a while and see if I made the joke. We're going to have tens of listeners, my mom and dad and siblings and maybe our wives, probably not, maybe. But anyway, so we're going to be back. So new movie in 2 weeks, Evil Dead Rise. So you can see, we're not just doing kids movies. We're doing it all. So Evil Dead Rise in 2 weeks is going to be our big movie. And then our throwback movie, we found something that we both haven't seen that kind of fits. The Peter Jackson 1992 cult classic Dead Alive, also known as Brain Dead, depending on where you live in the world. I've never seen it. It wasn't available. It wasn't available for streaming for the longest time. It is now, so we'll be able to watch it. But we'll get together and watch that and give our reviews on that throwback because we're both big Lord of the Rings fans. So, I mean, Peter Jackson's the man, right?
Yeah.
Like King Kong's awesome too. That's a great fucking movie. Yeah, it's a great fucking movie.
What a fucking great movie.
And then, so we're going to talk about those two, but I hope this comes out well and people like it. And, like I said, give us a like, hit a subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
Yeah. Tell the world.
You got nerds. There's nerds out there. Tell them these two dads that really suck or they want to talk about stuff. Go listen to them.
Well, and if there's anything that you guys want to hear us talk about too, comment.
Yeah. Leave us some comments. Yeah. Hit subscribe, then leave us some comments. So we'll do that. So, all right. Until next time, guys, thank you very much.